What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Wiseman Automotive. Today we're going to do an oil change on a Toyota Highlander. It's a 2015. It is the 3.5 liter, which is the 2GR FE engine. So let's get to it. First thing I want to do is take my oil cap off. Notice it takes OW20, so definitely want to use the manufacturer recommends. We're going to put that guy right there. I've already got the rack set, ready to take it up. The next thing I want to do is check my air filter. So let's do that real quick. To check the air filter, this thing's pretty easy. You got this clip right here. You got this clip right here, okay? Now, on the back over here, you actually have two plastic clips that go in there. You just kind of pick this up and pull it out. We're going to take this up, pick it up. We're going to take the air filter, and we're going to look at it. It looks pretty good. It's a little dirty. I'm just going to kind of knock a little bit of dust off of it there. Some of it's falling on the floor. That's okay. This looks not bad, so we're going to put it back in there and tell the customer that the air filter doesn't look too bad. Okay, so it goes in there one way. Just got to make sure you turn around correctly. Now, when you're putting this back in, you want to make sure that you get this tab, and there's two of those, one on the back side. You're going to want to make sure you get that in there securely, and it'll fit down in there just right. You'll see. Then you push on that part of that tab there to get this to go. All right, looks like the battery looks good. This right here is your power or your brake fluid reservoir. Your master cylinder is right there, so you mount the reservoir over here. So that's called remote mounting. Over here, that's where your windshield washer fluid is. So we'll make sure to add some for the customer. And if you notice there's no power steering, probably because it has electronic power steering. Okay, I'm going to take this thing up in the air, and then we'll get the drain plug loose. Oh, another thing is, see something like this? See it right there? That's pretty nasty, right? We're going to find ourselves a good trash can, throw that in there. I like to do that for my customers. Clear out that cowl panel for them. That's where some of the air is coming in that they breathe and stuff. So it's good just to be a professional technician and clear that away for them, okay? All right, so let's take this thing up in the air, and I'll show you how to drain the engine oil. We are underneath the car. This right here is the engine. This over here is the transmission. So to make sure you don't take the plug loose over here. That plug for the transmission is like an Allen head or maybe a Torx head. The one for the engine is a 14 millimeter socket. It's this one right here. So this is on the more, it favors the passenger side. Use a 14 millimeter socket, and I want to spin this thing like this. See? Got out there? No oil in my hands, right? Try to stay as clean as you can. Now, this has a cartridge style filter. We are using the Baldwin P7398 cartridge style oil filter, okay? From what I understand, Baldwin makes pretty good stuff. I have not had a problem with them. Now, there's a few ways we can do this oil change with the oil filter, and I want to show you what I'm talking about. As this is draining, let's take you around to the front here. Okay, right here is your oil filter housing. Now, the way they had this designed is you can take an extension and you can put up right here, take this part loose, and then in your oil filter kit, you have this cute little guy right here. And when you take that out of there, you plug that and the oil will drain out of your filter housing. When you take that off of there, you're going to notice that in your oil filter kit, you're going to have two different O-rings. I typically do not mess with that, okay? I usually take the whole housing off and not mess with that. I have a special tool just for this oil filter housing. You may be able to use different types of tools like the oil filter wrench. It's like a pair of channel locks like this. This may take it off of there. There's also a claw style you can use, but I actually have the correct tool, so because I have it, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to take this and just pop that right there. Okay. I'm going to have to back you up just a little bit so that way it's underneath my oil drain pan. And I'm going to turn this guy loose. Got it kind of loose there. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my old rag here. I'm going to fold it up probably about 2 times over there. Turn this guy. See, once you crack it loose, it's going to start leaking. And make sure that you're doing this on a warm engine. Okay. Got it off of there. The oil drain plugs are leaking. I got a little bit of oil in my hands. That's okay. Can't stay perfectly clean all the time. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my oil filter off like that. You have an O-ring right here. I'm taking my pocket screwdriver. I put it underneath the lip and I popped it off of there. In your kit that you have, there's a baggie. I just showed you. It has those 2 O-rings in there. I'm going to take the big O-ring out. And I'm going to put this on here. Put it in the groove that it belongs into. Like so. Okay. Make sure that O-ring's got lubrication on it. You can wipe around here a little bit. And now I'm going to install my oil filter. Let's go in here. Just push it down in there like that. I've already got this all drained out. So now I want to put him back up in here like this. I'm going to start it by hand. I'm going to put my rag on my hand here. And we're going to snug this down. Okay. The oil filter housing, they say 18 foot-pounds is your torque spec. So let me set my torque wrench to 18 foot-pounds. Okay, 18 foot-pounds. My torque wrench on here. Okay, sounds good. Now, my drain plug is 30 foot-pounds. So I'm torquing my, setting my torque wrench to 30 foot-pounds. Need to find my 14 millimeter socket. I'm letting it drain a little more. While I'm letting it drain, we need to find a oil drain plug gasket. This is a pretty cheap insurance policy right here. They're not very much. So make sure whenever you're doing oil change, change these gaskets out. And I'm going to find my gasket or my drain plugs right here. Okay. I'm going to take and clean that off of there. It's got this little magnet here. No, maybe not. Some of them have a little magnet right there, so that way if there's any kind of metal debris, it'll stick to it. I don't guess that one has. I didn't feel it. All right, put the new drain plug gasket on here like so. And now we're going to install it onto the engine. Got to take the old gasket off first and make sure this comes off. Do not double gasket it. You do not want to do that. This one's probably been used a couple times, I almost think, but maybe not. Okay, we'll put that on there. And now, started by hand, I tightened by hand there. I got this set to 30 foot-pounds. I'm going to put this on here like so. I don't know if you can hear it click or not. I got the click. Now the next thing you're going to want to do, you're going to want to take some stuff called brake clean. Something like this guy right here. Okay. I'm going to put you back here a little bit so you don't get splashed. And we're going to just kind of And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get all that engine oil that has made a mess to come off of there and be nice and clean. Because if this customer takes this vehicle and they park it in their garage and then they get oil on their floor, they might not be too happy about that. So you want to make sure that to get as much of that old engine oil off the bottom of here. Luckily today for me, it's raining. Some of that water should also help wash it away. But still, you want to make sure to get as much oil off the engine as possible. You don't want an angry customer. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to lower this down, and I want to adjust the tire pressure. Now, the tire pressure spec for this thing is 35 psi. I found that in the driver's side door jamb. So we're going to go through and check the tire pressures real quick. So I'm going to get out my tire pressure gauge. This is just a common service that you would give a customer whenever they come in for an oil change. Most shops these days are doing some kind of 19 point or 29 point or however many point inspection, and they're checking all this stuff for you. They're doing that for a few reasons. One, that way they can inform you if you have any problems with your vehicle. And two, of course, you know, they're here to make money, so if there's something wrong with your vehicle, they want to let you know about it. I've inspected this vehicle, and I'm going to inform the customer that the front brake pads are getting pretty low. They've probably got a little bit more time on there, and the tires are also getting fairly low. I do not like to try to give estimates on time when it comes to brakes. The reason is because if you say, oh, you got about 10,000 more miles, but this person's driving like a mountain, or maybe they're hauling a boat with it or trailer, or maybe if this person is a person who likes to ride their brakes a lot, then it's kind of hard to give a estimate of how much time they actually have on their brakes. I'll let them know a measurement, which I've already taken, and it was about 35. It was probably about 430 seconds, which is about twice what the minimum is for state inspection, which isn't much. It would be my guess they're going to get another oil change, maybe 2 out of it, be my guess, before they are going to end up needing brakes. The tires themselves are also in need of some attention too. They're actually not that thick. They still got some time left on here, but I can run my finger on the wear bars. Again, it's kind of hard to tell exactly how long they have on it, because what kind of driver are they? Are they the type of person that likes to, you know, take off from stoplights and spin tires and stuff like that? Or, you know, are they type of person that doesn't ever check the air pressure or whatever? But I was checking the tires, and they're at about 530 seconds in some places and 430 seconds in others. So they're getting down there. Some of the tires look a little bit better than the others, but they're all wearing fairly evenly. The ones in the back here, I don't know if you can see this or not. Right here, see that wear bar right there? That right there is your indicator letting you know that you're getting close, and they're not much above that wear bar. So I'm just going to inform them of that, let them know, hey, your tires are getting low. Probably in the next couple months, you're going to be looking at getting new tires for this thing. The tire pressures were mostly on point, so that's a good thing. All right, I want this thing all the way down here, and now I'm going to grab a funnel, and let me show you a little trick I do with my funnels to keep them kind of clean. With my funnels, I have them all in a bucket, and then I keep them covered with this towel here. And when I actually have a special Toyota funnel, they make these for Nissans, which I think I have one, and a couple other manufacturers. If you're doing a lot of engine oil changes on Toyotas, I recommend getting one of these funnels. This one was made by Snap-on. You can see this label still barely on there, but this is for Toyota and Lexus. They spin on there, they fit directly for that. If you look down in there, you can sometimes be a little dirt and dust. If you do not cover with the towel, you're going to have bugs and dirt and dust all in your funnels, and it looks really nasty. You want to make sure that you clean those out before you put brand new engine oil, or all you're doing is just contaminating that oil. So I'm going to spray that out pretty good. I just used this funnel here, not probably I don't know, maybe about a month ago or so, or probably a little less actually. Yeah, it looks a lot better. All right, so you take this funnel, and what we're going to do is, let me get you positioned here. Sorry for the shaking camera, but just remember, I am a one-man show. All right, you spin on here like that. Snug it down, and now we're going to put our oil in. I'm using the Federated brand, OW20. This is full synthetic, and I'm going to pour it in here. I'm going to put it in like this. Let me get the rest of them in there, and then I'll tell you how much I use, and we'll come back to you. So to save us a little time here, I went ahead and added the oil to it, and then I started it up, let it run for 15 seconds or 20 seconds or so, cut it off, added the rest of the oil to it, and here I am, and I've got 6 quarts in it, and it's right to the bottom right here. So that's perfect. You want to be between these 2 dots right here. If you can see those 2 dots on your engine oil dipstick, remember your engine oil dipstick is usually yellow, and even this right here says engine oil on there. One thing I want to tell you is, when you pull this engine oil dipstick out, one thing you're going to want to do is get a little bit like this on your fingers and put it around that O-ring right there, okay? Make sure you lubricate that O-ring. When that O-ring gets dry, people go to pull this out, they end up breaking this piece off. Next thing you know, you need to get a pair of pliers to put on it, right? So make sure you lubricate that O-ring every time you pull that dipstick out. All right, so they have 6 quarts in here. We started up, we let it run for, like I said, 10, 15, 20 seconds, something like that. And then, of course, you have to check it. The reason why you have to let it run for a few seconds is you want to fill that oil filter housing up full of oil. Make sure that you get the proper amount of oil in there. I'm going to put my cap back on. I'm going to snug it down. And now we're going to want to put windshield washer fluid in there. So we got the cap open. Do this as a courtesy to your customer. And it looks like I ran out, so I need to go get a little bit more of this. But that is how you do a engine oil change on a 2015 Toyota Highlander. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. And we appreciate it. And we'll see you on the next one. God bless. Take care. One thing I forgot to mention is we have to reset this oil change light. So you turn your key on, engine off. Just do not put your foot on the brake here. You get this to trip A, like that. Turn it back off. Now I'm gonna take my thumb, I'm gonna hold trip A, I'm gonna push the engine start stop button for key on, engine off, and you'll see it flashing like that. And there we go. And now, start it up, no more maintenance light, and we're good to go. Thanks guys for watching. We'll see you on the next one.